Okay, so not sure if you guys had heard, but Bill and Hillary Clinton were giving a deposition last week. And I was going to react to the whole thing until I realized it was 9 hours long. Man, torturing these two for 4.5 hours each at their age, it's quite deserved. So anyway, obviously I'm not going to react to the entire thing. I am going to react, however, to the two best of videos. The one for Hillary is 22 minutes. Let's go and see what kind of insane things she had to say.
Let me be as clear as I can. I do not. As I stated in my sworn declaration on January 13th, I had no idea about their criminal activities.
That is hilarious. You're actually going to try and pretend that you didn't know about Jeffrey Epstein's criminal activity. Okay.
I do not recall ever encountering Mr. Epstein.
Please, please, Hillary. Really? Now, I understand if we're talking about files specifically between you and Jeffrey himself, there's not many. However, let's look at all the ties that do exist between you and Jeffrey. And of course, we have to mention Pizzagate because, well, you know. Number one, your husband is Bill Clinton. Right off the bat. Two, all of your emails between your manager, John Podesta, and his connections with Jeffrey Epstein, all the Pizzagate stuff, your own emails, which mentioned pizza multiple times, the fact that back in I think it was 2016, right, when you deleted 30,000 of your own emails, and at the time, 10 years ago, we were all being told, oh, it was just classified information. And when you hear the term classified information, normally your brain defaults to, okay, well, it's just government stuff. But I think we now know that classified emails really means pizza talk. Because we know what's in Bill's emails, Epstein's emails, and many other celebrities' emails, including your own campaign manager, John Podesta, and his brother, Tony Podesta. But I would be hard-pressed to believe that the 30,000 emails that you deleted are just sensitive government information and not also things that are pizza-related. So even if you yourself did not meet Jeffrey face-to-face, which I don't believe, you still have plenty of other connections.
Never flew on his plane or visited his island, homes, or offices.
It's not very nice of your husband to not include you in his activities. Geez, what kind of marriage is this, Hillary?
I have nothing to add to that. Like every decent person, I've been horrified by what we have learned about their crimes.
Right. Because you had no idea what your husband was doing, right? Or any other celebrity, for that matter. Or any other politician, for that matter. You just had no idea. And you know what the funny thing is? This is how we actually know you're lying. Because if you were telling the truth, you might say something like, oh, I had heard about it, or Bill told me some things, but I was always disgusted, or something like that. The fact that you're like, oh, I knew nothing at all. It's like, that's how we know you're lying.
It's unfathomable that Mr. Epstein initially got a slap on the wrist in 2008.
Well, you've never even gotten that, considering what you've done. Considering that you silenced multiple of your husband's victims, the fact that you're a war criminal, the fact that you're clearly involved in Pizzagate. If you want the evidence, you can even watch my Pizzagate video because I talk about her involvement. The fact that there is, should I say, a Clinton body count. Now, I did make a video over 10 years ago called The Clinton Body Count, where I talked about all the people who have disappeared that have gone after Hillary and Bill. I did delete the video. I had planned on remaking it. I never did, and now I don't even know what the information was anymore that I said. But if you just not Google, you might want to Bing it, something that doesn't censor, or even a YouTube video, type in Clinton body count. Basically, you know, people like Seth Rich or Julian Assange and many others. Julian's not dead, but he was arrested. Seth Rich, however, is dead. And there's multiple others. Like, even in my video, I mentioned, I think, 6 people. The list is much longer, but I specifically talked about 6. And the people in question are people who had sensitive or very deep information about Hillary's crimes as well as Bill's crimes. And right when they were about to be whistleblowers, they all of a sudden committed suicide. So it became a meme to say that the Clinton body count, which is that Hillary kills anybody who goes after her. But, yeah.
which allowed him to continue his predatory practices for another decade. Mr. Chairman,
What about your crimes?
you have made little effort to call the people who show up most prominently in the Epstein files. And when you did, not a single Republican member showed up for Les Wexner's deposition.
What are you talking about? We got you, didn't we? And your husband, and Prince Andrew. There's lots of information on Trump, but of course he's the current administration, so nothing's gonna fucking happen. And quite frankly, I don't think anything's gonna happen in general anyway. Like, they don't care about any of the crimes of people like you. Why? Because you are rich and powerful political elites. Like, I like how Hillary's being like, none of these terrible people were arrested. None of them. It's like, you're one of them, Hillary. You're not. Don't think that you're like me. You're not a regular person.
This institutional failure is designed to protect one political party and one public official.
It's designed to protect both political parties, but sure, play the victim, I guess, just because you're a Democrat or whatever.
Rather than to seek truth and justice for the victims and survivors, as well as inform the public who want to get to the bottom of this matter.
Are you aware that both Republicans and Democrats voted to subpoena you and your husband?
That was fucking hilarious.
I am here.
Okay. Are you aware both Republicans and Democrats voted to hold you in contempt when you didn't show up?
I am here.
Is
Oh my god.
that partisan when both parties vote to do something together? Is that partisan or nonpartisan?
I think it's standing up for the institution, but there are many other aspects of the committee's work that strikes me as avoiding the main issues about who should be sitting here, who has actual information that might be useful to your investigation.
When you saw photos of your husband in a hot tub laying on a beach and getting massaged by other women, and you knew that Jeffrey Epstein was involved in some of these trips and these things, did it concern you at all?
I'm here not to offer my opinions. I'm here to answer specific questions to the best of my ability.
When you saw your husband in these photos with young women being massaged, what went through your mind?
I am not going to speculate.
You didn't have...
The reason you're not speculating, even though it's not a speculation question, it's literally a question about your husband in a photo that you have looked at, but sure, let's speculate on something that you've seen with your own eyes. The reason why she won't actually answer the question is because if she answers, then she'll have to admit that she was aware of Epstein connections due to Bill's connections. And she wants to stay with the narrative that she had no idea of anything. The second she answers that question, it's automatic, oh, so then you did know something. Like, duh.
any feelings about young women massaging your husband?
I am not going to offer opinions or speculation about anything that I have no context for and was not there.
No context for? There's a photograph of it. I mean, yes, Hillary, I grasp that you didn't actually sit there and watch the massage happen, and you don't know what they were talking about during the massage, and you don't know how her hands moved. Yes, I know. But the question was specifically about the massage and not what happened during the massage. She just wants a basic question of like, here's a photo. What do you think about it? Like, it's not that hard.
After you learned that Jeffrey Epstein was convicted of sex crimes with kids, did any of these photos of your husband with women being massaged on the beach, did it concern you?
I have no context for even answering that question. And
Do you see what I mean? Do you need context to just react to a photo? The photo is the context. But like I said, she's not answering because the second she says yes or no, that means she has to admit that she knew things. The only way to play dumb is if you also ignore any evidence that does exist, even if it is just a photo.
I think, obviously the innuendo, all the rest of it.
I'm asking a black and white question. I'm not putting any leading statement.
See?
into it or adjectives. Did you do anything to determine what was happening in those images or on those trips? That once you saw these photos, once you realized Jeffrey Epstein was a convicted sex offender of children, did you do anything to determine what was happening on these trips with your husband?
See, I love this question. Once it was determined he was a sex trafficker, but Hillary said she had no idea that he was. So the interviewer is pretty smart. She's trying to trap Hillary, because the second Hillary says yes or no, they can go, so you did know. You were aware, to an extent.
I don't find any of your questions to be relevant to the investigation.
Hillary's smart. She knows that she has to keep saying, like, I don't know, or nothing, or whatever. She knows. She's very smart.
The president was traveling around with young women.
Well, you'll have a chance to talk to him tomorrow.
Excuse me, can I interrupt?
I have
There are
another.
photos that are being released of the secretary as she is testifying from inside this room. Can you please advise me as to whether or not that's permissible and consistent with the rules, particularly given that we have asked for a public hearing? If there are photos that are being released of the secretary as she is testifying, can you please explain how that
I'm
can
done
occur?
with this. If you guys are doing that, I am done. You can hold me in contempt from now until the cows come home. This is just typical behavior.
We will go off the record.
Oh, for heaven's
So I would
sake.
like to understand how that's permissible.
Before the hearing was,
It doesn't
Excuse me.
matter. We all are abiding by the same rules.
I will take that down.
Yeah,
So I would
well,
like to take a break at this moment.
yeah,
and I'd like to have
I'm
a
done
conversation.
for now.
Go off
She just gets up and walks away.
the record. Go off the record.
Bruh.
Secretary Clinton, why is it important for you to testify before this committee in a public setting?
Well, first of all, I believe in public testimony. I believe that the public has a right to know what its elected members of Congress are investigating.
You just got up and walked away.
Having observed President Trump up close and personal for a number of years now since I ran against him, he has a tell. He has a behavioral tell. Whenever he is worried about being found out himself, he accuses somebody else of doing what he actually has done.
But that's literally what you're about to do. That's what you're doing. Here you are being approached for you and your husband's crimes and connections to Epstein, and now you're going to deflect by talking about how awful Trump is. You're literally doing the exact fucking thing that you're accusing Trump of doing.
And it's just a pattern with him. So it's no surprise to me that all of a sudden, what he promised in his campaign to reveal, everything about the files, and then when his people began looking in the files and realized how potentially incriminating they were of him, all of a sudden, that was no longer the focus. It was blaming Democrats, talking about a hoax, saying move on, there's nothing to see here.
She's right. Holy shit. We got it. She's right. Nothing can argue about that.
That is a typical pattern of President Trump's behavior,
Fine, but it's also you and your husband's too.
which
Any politician, what is this again? Again, you're all the same. Stop pretending that you're high and mighty. Same thing with him. You're all the same.
By this standard of behavior, multiple credible accusers, including Juanita Broderick, who alleged rape against your husband. Your husband was disbarred in Arkansas, lost his law license before the Supreme Court, flew on Epstein's plane dozens of times, visited Epstein's island.
That is not true. That is absolutely
It is true, Hillary. I know you're protecting your husband, but come on. Come on.
untrue.
Well, there's documentation in the DOJ files. I'm not sure you're aware, your attorneys have told you, but Jeffrey Epstein told one of the victims to lie to investigators, to lie that Bill Clinton was ever on Epstein Island. I can provide that document to you.
We would like that document, please.
Yeah, counsel, because actually the files say just the opposite. Epstein himself did.
Oh, fuck off! We've looked through the files. We know about Bill's connections. What the hell are you talking about? And by the way, I just need to point out, because everybody keeps talking about, like, just being in the files is bad, or just going to the island is bad. People need to understand that, and I've said this in videos before, but I'll say it again. There are multiple people in the files, mentioned in the files, but have little to no connection with Jeffrey Epstein or even did anything. And I'm even going to defend Michael Jackson, because it's not about thinking that Michael's guilty or innocent. It's about facts. Michael Jackson, there were only 2 pictures in the files regarding Michael Jackson. One where Michael met him at his house in Florida, not the island. The other is a deposition with a victim who was interviewed about Michael and was asked, "Did you massage Michael?" And the victim said no. And the third thing is the picture that gets a lot of debate, so I'll just cover it right now because I got nowhere else to cover this. So, you know that picture of Michael with Bill Clinton and Diana Ross and his 2 kids and Diana Ross's son? A lot of people were like, oh, the media is trying to make him look bad by blocking out the kids' faces. Oh! Number one, the kids' faces were blocked out, not to manipulate it and to make it look creepy, but because they're kids. That's the reason. And chances are that the DOJ didn't actually know who those kids were. They just did it because they're kids. 2, I also find that picture very strange in terms of when it was taken. There is serious debate if it was taken in 2002 or 2003, and I'll explain each one. Number one, people think it was taken in 2002 because it was done before the Clinton Gala performance where Michael Jackson performed Black or White, Dangerous, and Heal the World because of all the same clothing and everything. And there are even pictures of that performance with Diana Ross on stage with Michael, including her son. But what's weird is that even though there are pictures of Michael performing Heal the World and Diana Ross and her son is on stage with him, if you watch the video of Heal the World, they're not on stage with him. And I have no idea why. Like, that genuinely confused me. Like, why is there a picture of it, but if you watch the Heal the World performance, they're not on stage? Like, what? That's something I actually want. I know I hate fans, but I actually want a fan to comment and explain that one. It means that either A, the picture of Diana Ross and her kid on stage with them is photoshopped, or B, it means that the performance at the actual DNC fundraiser was the real thing, but the picture was just a rehearsal. I don't know which one it is, rehearsal or fake. Only thing I do know is that in the official DNC fundraiser Heal the World performance, Diana Ross and her son are not on stage with him, but they are in photos, which is very strange. And the last thing to point out is if that picture actually belongs in the files. According to the DOJ, that picture was in the files, but people are saying that it's got nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. Well, here's the thing. If it's got nothing to do with Epstein, why is that picture in the files? Like, seriously, I'm being literal. How did the picture get into the files if it's got nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein? Like, I don't understand how that's even possible. My theory is this. Perhaps maybe it was Jeffrey Epstein who took the picture. Now, of course, I have no proof of this, but the only way that that picture could reasonably be in the files is if Jeffrey's the one who took the picture. But anyway, that's the only thing I know. Feel free to comment if you want to discuss that. But yeah, Michael Jackson is just one example of somebody who's literally in the files, but did not commit any crimes in relation to Jeffrey Epstein himself. And Michael Jackson's not the only example. There are there's other examples of people. Like, for example, Alex Jones is mentioned in the files, but again, there's also no crimes related to Alex Jones and Jeffrey Epstein specifically, but he's in the files. So again, the point is, just because a celebrity or a politician is mentioned in them, or even has their picture taken, does not automatically mean that they committed crimes. They very well could have, probably did, but there's no actual proof of that, and it does not directly translate. You can be somebody who only met Epstein in his house in Palm Beach, Florida, and committed crimes. You could be somebody who went to the island and didn't commit crimes. These things can, of course, mean they did, but I'm just saying they don't inherently mean that. People believe, oh, wait, your name appears in an email? Guess you're a child fucker. That's literally not how it works. Outside of pedophilia, Jeffrey Epstein was also a huge businessman with connections in Hollywood and political people, like, all around the world. He had major connections, and a lot of the time it was just their dumbass dinner parties or it was business meetings. You can literally be in the files, you could be talked about, you could have sent him an email and never even met him, never went to his house, never went to the island, and also never had a child for dinner. It does not necessarily inherently mean you did. But anyway, moving on.
What makes you so sure of that then? I mean, he's photographed with...
Objection
No,
is to speculate on something that's not.
Yeah, it is so speculative. I mean, swimming in a pool, sitting in a hot tub, there are millions of people who do that without any improper behavior or certainly committing any crimes. So
So we're just gonna pretend that all Bill is doing is sitting in a hot tub? Because he totally doesn't have his arm around girls who look like they're 12. Like, fuck.
I
Do you think most of the men are like your husband that did anything wrong? Why were they being surrounded by young women giving them massages on Jeffrey's private estate or private plane? Are they all innocent then?
You know,
It's
you
because-
are making assumptions in your questions that have not been proven and I don't believe are provable.
In past public statements, as in 2017 speeches and interviews, you described Pizzagate as a baseless conspiracy theory, alleging you and others ran a child sex trafficking
It's not baseless. It was proven 10 years ago. Never mind now.
ring from a Washington pizzeria basement. Have you reviewed any 2025-2026 Epstein files that were released that you believe reference or relate to those specific 2016 claims
Many, because pizza is mentioned multiple times in the Epstein files.
regarding the Podesta emails, Comet Ping Pong Pizza used
The fact that we're talking about the Podesta emails again, whoo, memories. Oh my god. Yeah, Comet Ping Pong and Besta Pizza, by the way.
as code possibly?
I'm sorry, does
You're
this
asking her about whether she's reviewed emails in
In
the
the
Epstein
Epstein
files,
files.
which relate to the wacky Pizzagate scam.
The wacky Pizzagate scam. Okay, debunk it then.
You could characterize it however you want. I just would like to know if she's familiar with any of them.
So
Please
excuse me,
comment.
your question is about whether or not she has reviewed.
Okay, I'm sorry. I genuinely believe that the lawyers are doing that to give Hillary time to think. The male lawyer over here just said, "Wait a minute, you're asking her about the wacky Pizzagate emails?" "Yes, sir." And then, "Okay, so Hillary, do you know?" And then the woman over here, "So wait, you're asking her about the pizza?" He just said yes. The fact that both lawyers had to ask the same question is like they're trying to like delay the question.
Any emails in the Epstein released files about Pizzagate?
Yes, the male lawyer just said the exact same thing verbatim.
Correct.
Pizzagate was totally made up. It was
Oh, hang on a second, Hillary. Didn't you say you're not going to speculate on anything untrue? Strange. So before, when it was questions about your husband, when there actually was physical things, such as photographs, you can't speculate. But now that it's about Pizzagate, and it's more closely specific to you as opposed to Bill, all of a sudden, you are willing to speculate. Sounds to me like the reason why you are now perfectly fine with speculating is because you know that Pizzagate is true, and if you stay silent, it'll look bad online, and you don't want people to go after you the same way we did 10 years ago. Am I onto something, Hillary?
an outrageous allegation that ended up hurting a number of people, that
It had a fuck ton of evidence behind it.
caused a deranged young man to show up with his assault rifle.
A deranged young man to show up with his assault rifle. Now, if you watch my Pizzagate video, you will see that in that video, I say that the mainstream media sent in an actor to shoot it up and make people look crazy. However, I did not explain, at least I don't think I did, I forget. I don't think I explained why I said that, so I'll explain it here. Because the guy who went in there with an assault rifle, he had an IMDb page. So a lot of people think that he was just a paid actor who went in there to make conservatives look crazy. And to be honest, I still believe that.
And shoot up a local pizzeria. I can't believe
Your favorite pizzeria.
you're even referencing it. You should be.
There are connections to the language.
Well,
I'm
the
not
Q-
talking-
Why is it okay? Why is it not good for her to even ask you? Are you getting uncomfortable, Hillary? Oh, actually, you do look uncomfortable, so.
not people believe there are. So
I don't know what.
No, we're not QAnon. We're not QAnon. We're not. We're just people who saw, like, 65 pieces of evidence that connect you to what was going on at Comet Ping Pong. But anyway.
have at
people
it.
believe-
Have at it.
But you've accused certain parties, and I think even right now today, of promoting slow walking information in ways that fuels conspiracies. In your view, did any Epstein Maxwell related investigations or file handling pre or post 2019 contribute to or intersect with the spread of Pizzagate style theories about Democrat figures?
Objection.
I have no way of answering. That is the most
speculation.
ridiculously.
Have you or your representative
Why is it ridiculous? Okay, so if Pizzagate actually is ridiculous, you should be able to debunk it quite easily and not have this much discomfort. Look, I understand if you believe it truly is ridiculous and you're uncomfortable based on that, but in my opinion, in my humble opinion, it seems to me like you're just uncomfortable about this topic in general, and I think your discomfort proves it to be true.
has identified any Epstein file content that has been misinterpreted online to revive those claims? And what steps, if any, have you taken to clarify?
Again, object to the ground of
I think that this is all very
speculation.
reasonable.
Well, first of all,
Me too.
I don't follow the crazy conspiracy stories that are online. I
Well, you obviously do, but anyway.
regret that anybody does. I find it quite sad, but also disturbing that people would believe some of what is put forth, like Pizzagate. So
But there's so much evidence behind it, so why?
I have taken no steps to review anything
Do you think
that might
pizza-
have any connection to something which I think is totally bogus.
John Podesta, your 2016 campaign chair, appears in some Epstein file contexts.
That's an understatement. Some.
Social overlaps or mentions. Were you aware of any of the Podesta-related communications in the released files?
Oh, she certainly was. And I believe that's the reason why she deleted her 30,000 emails back in 2016.
Asking general.
I mean,
general
really,
questions.
I mean, I expected a lot of interesting questions today, but Pizzagate was not on my list.
I was not prepared for this, and that's why my lawyers keep talking over me and giving me some extra time to think, because I need to come up with an excuse. Let's move on to her delightful husband, Bill Clinton.
I do think you should be talking to me. I think you should have called me. I did take those plane trips with him, and you have a right to ask those questions.
Oh, he admits taking the plane trips. Interesting. Right off the bat.
So
Well, I mean, he can't really deny it. There's like 30 pictures.
I'm glad to be here, and I understand what the oath is. I have to be honest with you. You know, I'll be 80 years old if I live to the next birthday. I don't remember everything that happened 24 years ago, but I do remember some things.
But you remember it was 24 years ago? I mean, they may have said that to him, but I still think it's funny. If they didn't say to him, "Oh, Mr. Clinton, it was 24 years ago," then that would be hilarious for him to just know it was 24 years ago.
And I will tell you what I remember as best I can.
She's been described on being on a 2002 Africa trip and providing massages. Was she or any other young female on that trip underage at that time?
Not that I'm aware of.
Did you ever receive a massage or have physical contact from her or anyone else on that trip?
You've seen the pictures. There was one time when I was sitting up and I got a back rub, a neck rub.
Okay.
And I think Shantae did it, but I'm not sure. I wish Shantae had told me. I liked her. But I didn't think it
I bet you did.
was anything unusual. I can't tell you how many airplanes I've been on where rich people asked me to go and they had someone offering massage. You know, all these boats, should you go on, all this, they all do that.
Did you ever visit Epstein's Little St. James Island?
No.
Okay, Bill. And by the way, can we please point out the most obvious evidence that not only was Bill Clinton on the island, but that he actually loved being there, is this painting of Bill on the island. Now, there was another part of the deposition that I can't find, but I saw a clip earlier, but the point is, Bill Clinton was asked about the painting, and he basically said, "Oh, I've never heard of this painting, I've never seen the painting." So, you could argue that if Bill Clinton's telling the truth, that for some reason, I guess Jeffrey Epstein had this painting done and left it in his house. I don't know why Epstein would do that, but it's the only way to imply that Bill Clinton's not lying when he says he has no knowledge of it. Or B, Bill Clinton is in fact lying, and the reason why this painting exists is because Bill liked it and probably said to Jeffrey, "Hey, let's put it on your wall as a beautiful decoration." Personally, I'm going with option number 2. That Bill does know about this painting, he knows it's at Epstein's Island somewhere in the house, and he likes it. And by the way, if you're wondering what the painting is supposed to be, it's not just Bill in a blue dress. It's specifically meant to be the clothing that Monica Lewinsky wore when she gave Bill Clinton the blowjob back when he was president.
We have Virginia Guthrie, who has
I thought you didn't remember.
testified seeing you on the island with 2 young girls. Did this occur at all? Okay. Why do you think she would have made that claim?
Objection, speculation. He can't.
You are being asked why one of the victims is saying that you did it, and you're just going, "Oh, I'm not answering that." Hitting too close to home.
Have you ever met her or any other Epstein associated underage girl?
Not to my knowledge.
Not to my knowledge.
In Epstein's 2016 deposition unsealed
By the way, his body language, very defensive.
in the DOJ files, he refused to answer if you were accompanied by two young women who were approximately 18 years old on the island. Were any such women potentially underage with you? I know you've stated that you were not there, but did you have any interaction with the said
Objection to
individuals?
the foundation of the question. He's already stated he was not on the island. You're now asking about a claim of the Fifth Amendment by Jeffrey Epstein.
Okay.
Yes, I know it's not an interrogation, and the whole tactic of like asking questions after already saying no to the core question to trap them into saying yes, and then go, "Oh, so you were there." I know that those are tactics used for interrogations and not for depositions, and she is in fact using interrogation tactics. But considering what we're talking about, I don't fucking care.
Is it possible, and in your opinion, that you and or your wife were targeted as a means of an intelligence gathering operation
Object to the
by
form of the
Jeffrey Epstein and
question.
Ghislaine Maxwell?
Object to the form of the question. No objection to if he knows that they were targeted.
I believe that's what she asked.
No, she said it's impossible, so she's asking him to speculate instead of asking him to.
Do you know if you were targeted at any point?
I don't, but I don't. I'd sort of be surprised, but I'm not. I don't know.
Mr. President, before we left off, I asked you to characterize your relationship with Mr. Epstein. I asked you if you considered him to be a friend. You said you did not. Is that right?
Even though he called him a friend in the files.
I said we were friendly and we had a cordial relations, but I didn't know him well enough because we had almost no contact beyond what I described.
And because we haven't been able to identify that word until now, what did you
Which
mean?
word was it that you could not?
Silence, you couldn't.
No, errors.
Errors. What do I mean? Anybody who's lived 50 years and done anything has made mistakes as well as progress and done things.
But for the record, you weren't referring to errors in judgment that Mr. Epstein had related to his inappropriate activities involving you.
Absolutely not. I knew nothing about that.
We have.
Yeah, because if there's anyone in the political world that's trustworthy, it's Bill Clinton, because he has never lied about sexual acts with any woman, including Monica Lewinsky.
As you know, in the files that were released, there were several photos that included you, and we have an exhibit here. There's just one of the photos, and Exhibit K, Minority Exhibit K,
Yep.
and we'll have that passed around. And what we're trying to get at is some context for the public on whether you remember this photo and any details you may be able to provide us about it. So, do you recall the details of this photo? Recall the photo being taken?
No, I don't think I ever knew the photo was taken.
Okay,
Why are you smiling?
and for those who can't see it, it's a photo of you in a hot tub. There's a person next to you here. Do you remember where it was taken? Where was it taken?
I'm almost sure that this taken, I think there's an adjacent photograph, which you probably have, that if people saw it, they would feel that someone was trying to con them showing this picture. But anyway, this picture was taken in Brunei. He wanted, when he knew I was coming, he said he wanted to help me with my AIDS initiative, and he invited me to stay there. And he said, I want you to stay at this hotel, and I hope you'll use the pool. So I did, and then I got out and went to bed, exhausted.
Do you believe that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself?
Are you asking him to speculate on how Mr. Epstein died?
I'm asking what the president thinks of.
So you're asking his opinion?
Mr. President, was your friend Jeffrey Epstein
Are you
suicidal?
classifying him as a friend who he has testified that he was
has
friendly?
called him a friend in a letter.
He said he was friendly, but you've asked for his
Mr.
testimony.
President, do you believe that Jeffrey Epstein was suicidal?
Do you know?
Was he ever
She's asking the
suicidal?
best of your
I
understanding.
don't know. I only know what the medical finding was. I think maybe
That's it.
he finally got caught. I don't know. I've accepted it in my own mind. I don't know what happened,
Mr. President, what did you accept? That he killed himself or that he did not?
but he did. But I don't know.
Yes, sir.
And
Thank you,
neither
Mr.
do you.
President.
We don't. None of us know. We weren't there.
Mr. President, it's been an honor. Thank you.
It's again, it's
I genuinely wonder what Bill really thinks about that. Like the smirk on his face, and like, oh yeah, I think he killed himself. Like,
Just to be clear, you said it, but you did not have a physical relationship with Ghislaine Maxwell.
The president's answered that question multiple
Absolutely.
times.
I love it. Like, no, not a chance. She's way too old.
Thank you.
Who's Shaza? I don't know who that is.
What the hell did he just say?
And this is email from Virginia Dufresne, an Epstein
Ooh, Virginia Dupre.
victim that alleged that you walked into Vanity Fair and threatened them not to write sex trafficking articles about your good friend Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, that's 100% true.
Mr. President, is
Yeah, he looks pretty uneasy about that one.
this true?
No.
He's lying. He's fucking lying.
No. Not no. Hell no. Not close. No.
Yeah, sure. That, like, no, hell no. That's like reassuring yourself, bro.
Why do you think Ms. Dufresne would make these claims?
Are you asking him to have an
I
opinion
don't
about
know.
this?
But
Yes, we're asking him to explain why he thinks that the victim is lying if she is in fact lying, and you're so good.
Here's a point of mine. Can we not do that? Like, ask him about the facts that he knows, as opposed to asking about the facts in other people's minds.
Mr. President, have you ever asked any other publication to shut down a story related to Mr. Epstein?
no.
Look at the way he reacts when being shown one of these pictures. And he is right into that picture. He's so into it, his lawyer takes it away. He's like, no, don't. Whoa, I'm not done looking at that. Let me see. Oh, I had good memories with her. Ah, those were the days. Oh, Bill, look at that smile. The golden days, huh?
Okay.
Ugh. You,
Mr. President, we have
you won't believe what I did with her. Let me tell you. Oh, shit. The interviewer's looking at me. I'll tell you later.
about 5 minutes remaining in the majority's first hour.
Well done, Bill. Okay, I've watched these two enough. That's it. Bye.